Ah, you learn something new every day. I guess I hit Instagram story capacity, and now it's just eating my story. So I won't be posting anymore at all for the next 24 hours because Instagram said I'm not allowed. Now, before I log off for real, it's important that I express the following. I did not delete the initial story, and if you're looking for it, say you're following along or you're sharing the stories with other people, which would be greatly appreciated, you can find the posts that have been deleted by Instagram in the reel labeled friends on my bio page. So they're not gone. They're right there in the bio under friends, okay? Thank you guys. I'll be back soon. I appreciate you. Oh, I figured it out. It's 100. I can't have more than 100 posts on my story at once. So, you live some, you learn some. 100 posts, that's pretty good. Wow. Okay, so I thought that the reason the stories were disappearing is because of the 100 item limit. And I thought that because when I made the reel on my bio page, it said that I could only have 100 items, and then the story changed. So I made the video before the last video, and I posted it, and when I did, one of the posts off the front disappeared. So I was like, oh, I'm validated in my observation, right? Like, I'm seeing it for real. And then I made the last video, and it didn't take away a post. So I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know if anything changed for you guys. I don't know what the hell's going on. So I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna drop it. I'll see you guys later for realsies. Goodbye. I'm not figuring this out. Hi. So I was going to throw the towel in. I was very serious about that. However, about 5 minutes ago, I received an email claiming that I was trying to log into my Instagram and that someone was requesting a password recovery, which is very interesting because this is the first time that I've said anything, even the smallest thing, about what I think happened to not only my father, but also to me. That was maybe an hour or two. It took like, what, an hour or two before someone tried to hack me? Fucking try me. With that being said, let's talk about audience engagement real quick. I was on the app for a brief moment after I signed off. I waited a few minutes, got back on. I went to go make sure that the story was looking all right and that the reel was looking all right, you know, given the technical errors. And I was surprised by something. For the first time ever, I watched my follower count decline in real time. I was like, whoa, hold on, let me look at that. And so I went and I looked at the last time that I posted about social or audience engagement. And I saw that not only was it 19 days ago, but also 22 people have unfollowed in those 19 days, which is really interesting. Back to the hacker. Not cool, dude. What the fuck? Why would you use public information that is present in my bio solely for the purpose of allowing people I don't know to contact me in a safe way? So fucking rude. And what's worse is not only is that just not cool, you actually forced my hand, and now I have to say some things that I didn't want to say this way. All I can say about that is that this is the last and only time that anyone will be forcing my hand. Here it goes. Psh. Round start. Over the last 6 years, I have grown into my adulthood, and I have learned through observation the ways in which this society that we live in, whatever you call that thing that we're doing, has, is, and seemingly will continue to devour the disadvantaged and the exploited, while those responsible for this carnage do everything they can to evade repercussions for their actions and do everything they can to impede and negatively impact constructive and meaningful change. As a 27-year-old Caucasian male born into this potentiality, I see it as my responsibility to observe these behaviors, name them, and do everything I can to put an end to them. Personally, I believe that the best place for me to start in doing that is to talk about what it is that I've been through the last 6 years and how that has led me from a stoic supporter of my father's suicide to a conspiracy theorist who genuinely believes he was murdered. These last 6 years have been some of the most trying times of my entire life. For those of you who know me, I'm saying something. Some of the worst times of my entire life have occurred in the last 6 years. My family has been destroyed from the inside out. I've been forcibly disconnected from my siblings, my inheritance, my ability to express and communicate. To top that all off, I'm regularly being bombarded with insane shit, like Sean Dell trying to lure me into a fight in March, and even my own mother threatening to take my life in August of 2021. Really, I should have given those examples in the reverse order, so let's wind it back to August 2021. A conflict between my mother and I, which had been boiling ever since my father died, came to a head, and she threatened to take my life. A story that I'll tell in far more detail at a different time. Again, I wasn't supposed to be saying these things right now. Fucking jerk. And this interaction that occurred between me and my mother was so serious and so real that it confirmed suspicions that I already had about my father's apparent suicide. It would still be another year or so until I started to research it, but when I did, I didn't find nothing. Briefly, I would like to touch on the relationship that I have with my mother, Talinda, because if you know us, or you're someone that's followed along in some capacity over the last 6 years, it's inevitable that you've heard some conflicting and concerning things about our relationship with each other. So here it goes. Talinda and I haven't been good since before Chester died. We have a very special relationship that was sustained due to his death. Because at the time that Chester died, I was avoiding my parents, whether they knew it or not. And this was such a reality that Talinda called me 10 times the day that Chester died, and I didn't answer. It was only after the 10th call or so that I was like, oh, this is a lot of times to call someone. Back to the story. It's 2023. Out of the blue one morning, I receive an email from Concord Publishing requesting that either I or my brother Isaiah sign off on Chester's behalf for a Rock Band Grey Days DLC deal. I'm baffled because nobody in Chester's life would ever let me have a say in whether or not someone could make money off of Chester's name or use his name in some kind of project. Okay? Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm the guy who gets shut the fuck down because I say that things are inappropriate. Now, when I called Concord to ask why my brother and I were being sent these emails, I was told that they didn't really know. They needed an approval party for this deal, but they didn't know who was involved in the deal. They didn't know who was in the approval party, and so they just thought they would type the last name into their database and send an email to whoever was on that database. Which also baffled me because, one, you shouldn't be doing that. That's super unprofessional. If you don't know what's going on, you need to ask. Especially in a contract business like that, you need to ask. You don't just send people privileged information, okay? Second of all, it was like, how do I say it? How do I put it into words? Yes. The second baffling element of this interaction was the fact that nobody knew who the approval party was. Now, this is baffling because Talinda's the approval party. She's required to be in all of these meetings. She's required to say yes. So it was very interesting to learn that Concord didn't know who was the approval party. Not who was in it, but who was the approval party. And it's odd that they hit me up instead of them. And it's odd that I couldn't talk to management. And then it just gets weirder from there because even though I didn't want to, for various reasons, which I can get into at a different time, I did not want to talk to Sean Dowdell, and I had to. Now, why didn't I want to talk to Sean Dowdell? There were reasons I didn't want to talk to Talinda, so what are we getting into right now? That's a great question. The answer is two answers. The first answer is that I don't appreciate his work ethic. I don't appreciate his moral compass. It's been 6 years, and he still says, even as he's ramping up for a potential new career, that he's doing it for Chester, who as of March 2023 was almost 6 years dead. Adding a little spice to the pot, it's important to note that in May of 2020, when Talinda began the painful and violent process of dismantling every relationship in my life, including the one between me and her, I told at least 3 people in her life what she was doing. One of those people was Sean Dowdell, and he did nothing. One of those people was Brad Delson, and he didn't do anything either. And another one of those people was Anna Shinoda. And let me tell you, it's a juicy story. That's not a story for now. Answer 2. Before I give it, I want to clarify that even though I am speaking firmly on Sean now, what I'm saying now does not determine our entire relationship. Sean and I have had good moments. I've known Sean for a long time. This is not to say that he's some evil person that just needs to be shut down and whatever. It's to say that he's done some things that aren't cool, and I have the right to say something about them. And since someone decided to try to hack my account, this is the way it's gonna go. And some clarification on the clarification, I don't really feel like I owe Talinda anything. And I don't feel like I owe Sean anything. The reason that I'm saying this thing about Sean and not about Talinda is because, to be honest, the internet can be really fucking mean. And I don't want people to like burn him or anything like that. This is just me telling my truth. And as far as Talinda's concerned, I don't want people to burn them either, but also they threaten to take my life, so I don't really feel like it's necessary for me to try to be the better person. And also, I'm not being the better person. Answer 2. Why did I not want to talk to Sean Dowdell? The simplest way to say it, and I'll leave it at this for now because, again, this is the Cliff Notes. There have always been natural imbalances in our relationship. I grew up around Sean. When my father died, I was 21 years old. And though I'd like to say that it's not in a strictly an adultist thing or a superiority thing, I do have to account for some of the odd positions I've been in with Sean.